Welcome back. We're back with gforce Robotics co-founders Sloan Mann and Kaitlyn Nolte to discuss the future of the gforce STEM initiative. And my goodness, I mean, I'm so impressed because you're so young. I mean, you're young, but the program itself is only 2 years old, and you're competing against people that have been in, what, 20 years or more. So tell me about gforce. I mean, I know you do outreach programs. Let's start there. What kinds of things do you do to draw more interest into the field that you're in?
So our team's mission is actually to inspire and encourage the next generation of girls in STEM. And we do this through our primary outreach initiative called SOAR, which stands for Success Through Outreach, Advocacy, and Robotics. And underneath this initiative, we actually have programs for girls grades K through 12. So for elementary school students, we have Be That Engineer Literacy Project, where we get inspiring stories about women in STEM, and then we get them signed by female STEM professionals from companies like NASA, Caterpillar, Lockheed Martin, BattleBots. And they write encouraging notes on the inside cover, and then we take those books and we donate them to local schools and libraries. So far, we've actually donated about 30 books through this program. And then for middle school students, we have our Girls Teach Tech classes, which are free technology classes we host at the Clayton Library, which we do actually in partnership with Orcs Girls out of Tennessee, which is kind of an online free technology class program. And that's kind of a way that we can spread our reach across the US and abroad because it's online via Zoom. And these classes, they're on topics like virtual reality, artificial intelligence, machine learning. And through this program, in person alone, we've directly impacted over 300 girls. And then for high school students, we have our annual Women in STEM event, which is where we invite female STEM professionals and then local high school girls. And they all come to an event or a luncheon. And this year we actually hosted with Caterpillar, and we're actually growing by more than 50% this year. But the female STEM professionals will tell younger girls why they should continue in STEM, their stories in STEM, and it's really just an inspiring event.
I'm exhausted listening to all the stuff you do. Well, and Sloan, I understand the government got in touch with you guys too. I mean, you're not going unnoticed, in a good way, in a good way. It was the State Department because of the success that this group is having, because I'm sure they'd like to encourage exactly the same thing you are encouraging kids to do. What was that like? I mean, what's going on with that? Is there anything you can tell us?
Yeah, so we've actually talked with the State Department 2 times. The first time was when they invited us to present for their International Visitor Leadership Program. So we went to DC and we presented at the Pentagon to 5 different women STEM leaders from Europe. And we presented about our team, our robot, why we're so passionate about robotics. The second time, they invited us actually pretty recently. We went to present just more about our team to people at the State Department. Basically the same presentation, our robot, why we're so passionate, and they came to talk to us about, possible programs that they have that we might be interested in as well.
That is so neat. Well, what about, let me start with your future. You're so young yet, you're just starting out, but I mean, do you have personal goals? Where would you like to be? You're already surpassing so many people. So, Kaitlyn, what about you? What would you like to do?
I'm actually in the midst of college applications right now.
I bet you are.
But I'm actually planning on getting a bachelor's and master's in mechanical engineering and doing some stuff with computer science and computer programming. My dream school right now is Georgia Tech, but I just hope to get into a good engineering program. And then I also just hope to continue in the robotics industry in some form or fashion.
I think you'll be very successful. How about you, Sloan?
So I'm looking at a few different career paths right now. My top 3 would probably be some sort of engineering degree. I'm looking at game design as well, and then possibly becoming a pilot. My top school right now is the Naval Academy. And without robotics, I would have never thought of doing any of this. Like, all of the jobs I just mentioned were STEM related. So before robotics, I wasn't thinking about it. So this really helps.
Yeah, I think the STEM field is probably a very successful field for anybody who decides to get into it, no question. gforce, the future of gforce. You're only 2 years old. Where would you like to see that go? Eventually, you two are going to move on. What do you want to have happen at gforce?
So we have 2 big events on the horizon that we're looking at right now. So one of the biggest things that we're focusing on is next year's world competition. So we know we're pre-qualified, so we want to make sure that we're building an outstanding robot to be competitive at that scene. So right now in the off season, we're working really hard on making new mechanisms that we haven't built before, learning new systems, things like that, just to make ourselves more competitive and boost our chances in that competition. Also, we are hosting the second ever Wings Over Wayne Air Show STEM Hangar again. So we hosted it in 2023, and we are invited to host it again in 2025. There'll be a bunch of different STEM exhibitors, different FRC teams, and it'll be guaranteed to be a big event. So we're looking very forward to both of those things.
You guys are very busy. For folks who would like to get involved, how would they do that, Kaitlyn?
So there are over 75 FIRST Robotics competition teams across North Carolina. Some of them are a lot bigger with 40 to 50 members, and some of them are a little smaller like us. But a great first step would be to look at firstnorthcarolina.org. It has lots of information about what the program is about and also teams in your local area. I'd advise people that are interested in joining a team to look around their local school and community to see if there's anything going on, and if not, it's also a great opportunity to start a team like we did.
Now, one final message to the young girls that may be watching, or their parents. Why is what you do so important for folks to even consider the STEM field? Why is it important?
So I think it's extremely important because if somebody doesn't know that these STEM careers are possible, they won't know that they might be interested in them. And especially for girls who typically get held back in the tech and robotics industry, I think it's so vital that they get access to programs like this because everybody deserves to experience the joy of STEM education.
And Sloan, it changed your life by getting in it.
Yes.
It could change someone else's.
And I'd say this program doesn't only teach like engineering and things like robotics, but it also teaches the soft skills that are super important in our youth as well. So like leadership, communication, teamwork, all of those are extremely important, and this program teaches them in a way that no other program will.
Oh, you two are very impressive. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having us.
You bet, and thank you for watching. We hope you've enjoyed today's show. If you have any questions or you'd like to know more, visit our website at RaleighCW.com and myrdctv.com. I'm Bill LeMay, and thank you for watching Community Matters, and we'll see you next week.